Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home? And who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 221. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for Rated G, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated G for Gamers. For as little as $1, you can help support Rated G in making all the wonderful content that we give out to you, the fans. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan. The weather is so nice outside right now. Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Dan, it is probably, I'm gonna say it's probably the best time of the year for you right now. Because your birthday is like here, right?
My birthday is today of this recording.
Happy birthday, Dan Robinson. Wanted to save the wishes for the show. Happy birthday. You're a can I say how old you are? Can I say how old you are?
Listen, I just turned 22. I'm super happy.
22 plus 16, y'all do the math. It's fine.
It's a great time to be 22.
22 plus 16.
Fresh out of college. Fresh out of college.
So you worked in retail when you were like 3 years old. Is that what you're telling me? You were a baby.
Listen. They just had some kid. He's like the youngest kid to get like a master's degree, and he was like 12. So yeah, if he can do it, I was working in retail at 4 years old selling power centers and plasma TVs.
Wait, did you just make reference to Doogie Howser? Is that what you drew?
Well, real life Doogie Howser, yeah.
Oh my god!
I was just watching the news, and the guy's like 12 years old. He got like a master's degree or something. Mm-hmm. He's like the youngest guy to get a master's degree.
Mm-hmm. So I have to ask, right? Because like my birthday is coming up in a couple months. Who knows where the economy is going to be with the zombie apocalypse? Hopefully things are open.
I know you only turn 45 once, man. Can't wait.
You don't necessarily get to have the birthday that you wanted. We can't go out for drinks, so we have to socially distance, ching the glasses, and all that. Do you have any plans given the current pandemic situation that's going on right now?
I already got the best birthday gift ever.
Oh, what's that?
And we're going to talk about it later in the show because we're going to see PS5 games. It's about damn time. They knew it was my birthday. They wanted to wait to announce it.
You better believe.
Thank you, Sony. Thank you, Sony.
Better believe, yeah. Sony's biggest fanboy is going to get his birthday wish. He will finally get to see all of the great PS4 games, hopefully.
PS5 games.
PS5 games, I'm sorry.
Games, yes. First of all, I'm not a fanboy.
Like Jordan, like Sony,
just like
more than Xbox.
Like Jordan, I appreciate greatness. I appreciate greatness. Okay.
Oh man. Yeah.
So I will tell you this. Mm-hmm. This is where I feel like I'm getting old. I've discovered something that was already is like Christopher Columbus, right? I discovered something that was already discovered. Oh, you were one of the lucky
10,000, right? There's apparently like 1 in 10,000 people, roughly, that kind of doesn't know about something, and everyone's like, "How did you not know that?" Or you got to spin it on its head. I am very happy for you. Tell me the new thing you discovered.
Amazon Prime movies.
Hey, there you go.
How did I not know this existed?
They have original TV shows, original movies. Yep.
I've had Amazon Prime literally since college because I got it to get college books.
Yeah, man, they got a lot of good content on there.
They got a lot of good movies. I just watched the last Rambo movie, which was terrible, but I really wanted to see it.
Oh, Last Blood? Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible, but I really wanted to. The movie is irrelevant. I really wanted to see it.
Of course.
And I get listen, I loved growing up. Me and my father used to go to the rental store, either Blockbuster or your neighborhood rental store, video store, when that was a thing.
Yeah.
It's actually now a deli, funny enough.
Oh my god!
And we used to get B horror movies. That used to be our thing. We would watch all these B horror movies, right? So they got a bunch of B horror movies on Amazon Prime. That's crazy, and I can rent it for $1 or $2.
Oh, you go down that nostalgia trail, man. That's heavy.
Yeah.
That's heavy.
I can't believe I missed. So let's see. During this quarantine, I got Disney Plus.
Yeah.
I discovered Amazon Prime, and I just got a text message yesterday that tells me because I'm an AT&T subscriber, I get HBO Max for free.
Oh, there you go. You can watch the new Adventure Time, and I don't know what else is exclusive on that platform.
I could watch the Snyder Cut.
Oh yeah, you can watch Justice League. How could I forget the biggest thing in media nowadays, the Snyder Cut of Justice League?
I could watch Snyder Cut.
I'm actually curious because I think you're going to watch it. So let me know if it's any better, if it makes the difference.
Well, speaking of the DC universe, I mean, we talked about this a few episodes ago. Henry Cavill, the WB, the studio wanted him back as Superman. Now they are officially in talks to bring him back as Superman, but not in his own standalone movie, in other movies, which is still weird. I'm glad he's back. I thought he was great, CGI mustache and all.
That was terrible. Yeah, but
I didn't think it was that bad.
It was noticeable.
It wasn't great. I didn't think it was that bad. He's coming back. What movies could he be in? Like, could he be in the next Aquaman movie, the next Wonder Woman movie, right?
The next Shazam movie? Come on.
He could be in the Shazam movie, didn't he? I still haven't seen it. It's two.
Neither have I.
Well, it's two movies I still haven't seen. Okay.
One, you're gonna be like Prime though.
I still haven't seen Spider-Man. The first one.
My God. You gotta see it. Far From Home?
Yes, I haven't.
Yeah,
well,
you have.
No, Homecoming. Is it Homecoming?
Homecoming was the first one, right?
Yes,
Far From Home was the second one. Dude, you have Disney Plus. You have all the Marvel movies.
It's not on there. No.
What?
Homecoming is not on Disney Plus.
What? Homecoming's not on there?
No, it's not.
Oh, because it's owned by Sony.
Yeah.
Well, rip.
So,
I don't know where you can watch it then.
Well, I could buy it.
You could buy it. Yeah, you can buy it. I would recommend it. It's worth your $3.99 rental.
So I still haven't seen that, and I haven't seen Shazam. Those are the two superhero movies I haven't seen yet. So I definitely want to watch those. He could be in it. I could have sworn they teased him in Shazam, didn't?
Right.
There was something about like Superman was sitting down at the lunch table, but they didn't show his face.
Oh yeah, I think it may have been like a little Easter egg, kind of cameo, not cameo type thing, right? Yeah, you saw the back of his head, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely want to catch that out. I want to see that, but I haven't. I haven't seen Spider-Man, so I definitely will at some point. Who knows? Rent Spider-Man. But I just want to put a PSA out there.
Oh, boy, here we go.
Superheroes are real. They're just not like they are in the movies. Okay? Like, you are not an alien from another planet, but it's good to fantasize. All right? That has superpowers. Mutants don't exist. And for God's sake, if a spider bites you, you will not turn into Spider-Man. And I say this because there were 3 young boys that who are big Spider-Man fans, let a Black Widow bite them, okay, in hopes of gaining superpowers. Oof. And all they gained was a trip to the hospital. Because the Black Widow is like one of the deadliest spiders out there. So
that's freaking crazy.
So please be careful. You will not turn into a superhero if an insect bites you. I just want to say about that.
Well, there we go.
If anything, play video games.
on a tangential, brighter note, Space Force did come out. I don't know if you heard about this new Netflix series.
What is that? Space Force. It sounds so familiar.
Yeah, Space Force is the President Trump branded new like NASA initiative or whatever, right? Space Force. So they made a TV show starring Steve Carell. He is like the head of Space Force.
Oh yeah, that is right. That okay. I saw the advertisement for it. I didn't actually see it yet.
It's I'm only like 2 episodes in. It's very funny. You will recognize like everybody in the TV show. You're like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Everybody is somebody in the show. So it's really cool to see that, and I think it's a good cast. I'm pretty hype on it. You know, it's very, very interesting. The budget is pretty good for it. So I just wanted to say Steve Carell. Yeah,
he's found the fountain of youth. He still looks super young.
Great. He looks great.
He just looks. Yeah. He looks super young, just with like gray hair.
Yeah. He has a little salt and pepper going on, and it's all good.
I think he's a little bit more salt than pepper.
Well, sure.
He's mild. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
so, there you go. It's my quarantine pick right now. If you need something new to watch, go watch Space Force.
And I got to say, well, I saw Sonic, right, and we talked about that. I thought Sonic was. I had low expectations, and it beat my low expectations. I thought Sonic was really good. They're officially making a Sonic 2. And Sonic 2, and hopefully we'll see Knuckles in it. Like that's what I really want to see. I really want to see how they would do Knuckles and like the dynamic between Sonic and Knuckles.
Because that was kind of teased at the end of that one. I don't see why not. Like,
spoilers.
Sorry.
Cutscene.
Spoilers for the Sonic movie.
Tails is in the movie at the end.
Tails in the movie at the end, and we do see echidnas in the beginning. I think right when Sonic's running around the trees. In the beginning,
I didn't know this was going to be a Sonic movie spoiler cast, but I don't remember that.
That's the beginning of the movie. Come on, that's the first. It's the first scene when he's like running around the trees. I'm pretty sure those are echidnas. I think so.
I got to rewatch that. I didn't see that part. I missed that part. But Dave, as we always try to start the show but epically fail, what have you been playing?
Oh boy, Dan, I'm almost done. With Final Fantasy VII. I'm in the Shinra building. I'm climbing the floors. All right.
Wait,
I'm getting there.
So you didn't get to the top.
I'm almost at the top. I talked to the man on the inside. Right. I got the key cards.
Oh, you're nowhere. Oh, okay. So let me tell you. So you talk to the man. We won't disclose who the man is.
Man on the inside. Yeah.
All right. Let me tell you, you're still like another 6 hours.
Oh yeah! Wow, they stretched this game out.
So just so you know, I mean, I told you before we started recording. You're like 2 bosses away because you got to leave the building too. But I totally forgot. Yeah. I think you're even more. I think you're like 8 hours away. 8 hours away because there's still like this whole maze you got to go through in the building.
Oh yeah.
Even after finding the inside man. So you are still You're okay. You're not close to the end yet.
This time next week, I will have beaten the game. All right, I'm gonna take it to the finish line. I'm going to take the ball, run it over the goal, and go for 2. All right? I'm beating this game because it's so good. It's incredible. All right? It's very good. Okay. And also, I've been playing Streets of Rage 4 on the Switch. Wow. Oh, Jesus. Who let the bear out of the cage, Dad? Who let the bear out of the cage? Look. We talked about
DMX.
this already.
I don't know about a bear out of a cage.
Talked about this already.
DMX.
DMX, yeah. Dan's going to give it to me, and Dan's going to give me the side eye. Listen, we're still going to play the game on the PS4, all right? Don't worry about it.
You just couldn't wait.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Like I have it digital on the Switch. It's great. I can play it portably, and then we can go ahead and play it online, head to head.
All right. Okay.
It's good, man. You're gonna definitely enjoy it whenever Limited Run gets around to shipping the damn boxes out.
So it won't be the same. I'll be playing it by myself.
Please.
All right. Well, speaking of playing games by myself, I've been playing a lot. I went back into the archives just a little bit early on in this generation. I went back and I popped in Spider-Man. Marvel Spider-Man for the PS4. I want to play the DLC. I already beat the story, so I just wanted to pop in the DLC. I just did that, so I just started it, so I haven't really got into it yet. to talk about that. Been playing some Gran Turismo Sport for the PS4.
Nice. That is a game that needs to come to next gen consoles. All right.
Super realistic. I'm getting pretty good at racing. I didn't really dive deep when it first came out. You could sign a contract for different cars.
Oh, really?
You know,
and then you're kind of exclusive to that company or something?
And then you got to race. Yeah, you got to race with those cars. I think that was pretty cool.
Interesting. Okay.
You know, I got to read the fine print before I sign any contracts.
Yeah, right. You walked into a 20-year deal with like Isuzu or something, or like Suzuki, and it's like,
Well, you know, I was looking at some Mitsubishi cars.
Mitsubishis are nice, right? You know, 3000 GT or something, sure.
And then I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey on Xbox One. I went back to it.
Yeah.
I want to get, you know, I'm probably not going to beat it, but I'm definitely further in the story now than I was when I first got the game.
Right. Okay.
So that's pretty good.
You doing all the side missions and everything? You're gonna 100%.
I'm actually not doing any of the side missions. I'm going straight story.
You are a wise man, Dan. You're a wise man, because my God, is there so much stuff around.
So I want to say I have a gamer grief, and this is really ticking me off. Okay, now this is mostly about buying games as a collector. You know, listen. We do Lukey games, right? We love Lukey games. I buy a lot of stuff from Lukey games.
Yeah, Lukey games is great.
But you know, Miss JJ Games, rest in peace. I buy stuff on eBay all the time. And I got to think the thing that's ticking me off is the make me an offer button. And it's not the actual button that sort of ticks me off. It's how some sellers actually use that. Okay. And I'll give you an example. I'll actually say you have a game, you post a game up for $25. And then you set make me an offer, right? Buy it now for $25 or make me an offer. Okay. Make me an offer means you want me to make you an offer that is not $25. That is less, most likely less than $25. Okay. If I make you an offer, I make you an offer, let's say $20, $19, just decline it or counter offer. I hate this minimum offer, and I get why they have a minimum offer, because you don't want somebody offering you $2, right? That's just ridiculous. That's
because then you're
not reasonable.
Sell it.
Yeah, but the person selling isn't reasonable when the make my offer minimum is $24.
Yeah.
How do I know that? Because I made an offer for 21, I made an offer for 22, and I made an offer for 23, and they will all automatically decline. So that means the make me my offer minimum was at least $24.
Oh my God. Now you know that little like inside baseball, to have the minimum threshold, you have to pay for that. That is a eBay fee to have a guaranteed minimum, right? Because that means that your product may not sell, and then eBay does not get a cut, and you're still using their services. So eBay says, like, we'll charge you a percentage of what it is, and that's our cut. So that man had to pay for that. He had to pay for that minimum.
Well, again, like it's just ridiculous. You have to be reasonable, okay? Right? I get the minimum should be reasonable, but I personally think eBay should put something in place where it's like it needs to be at least, 70% or 60%. I don't know, something, or 20%. It can't be like a ridiculous offer. Like, I'm offering you $1 for something that's $100. Right?
Yeah.
That I understand, because then you'll be declining offers left and right. But if it's $100 and I offer you 65 or 75, I think that's very fair, and that's an offer you may take. And then I'll say, I'll give you so that was my pissed off version, right? I'll give you the fair version. I had something I was looking at that the person posted as for $90. I made an offer for 60. They declined the offer, but then the listing expired. They relisted it. I offered, and they still had to make me an offer, and I put 70, and then they accepted, right? Hey. So that's an example of like a fair make me an offer.
There you go. Negotiation skills 100 right there. Very nice. Very nice.
So if you are selling things on eBay, don't be a jackass. The make me an offer button, let people make you a real offer to buy the product.
Dan, you're like the prophet right now. You're laying down some PSAs. You're laying down some eBay knowledge right here. People got to listen. Take note. Yeah,
this is for collectors and mostly sellers. Okay. All right. So why don't we take a break, and we'll come back. We'll get into the top gaming news of last week.
This is Justin from the Lit Gaming Arena podcast, and you're listening to Rated G for Gamers.
And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. We have to talk about Sony. Let's talk about the PlayStation 5. We will officially get the reveal, well, semi-reveal.
Something.
We're going to get something from the PS5 June 4th.
Mm-hmm,
right? That's 1 p.m. Pacific time. I think that's what?
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Eastern.
Mm-hmm,
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So the tagline, they sent out like a 10-second reveal, like trailer with the PS5 controller.
Yep.
It looks black, but it's not really black. It's just in the dark. It's the shadow because you could tell like it's really white. But it would be cool if they did have a black and a white version, which I think they totally will eventually. But it'd be cool if they have it at launch, right?
Yeah. It would definitely be a nice colorway. I think they would both sell well for sure.
And it's sort of the tagline is a look at the future of gaming on the PS5 or PlayStation 5.
Mm-hmm. Which means we're gonna get some gameplay, right? Hopefully it's gonna be better than the Microsoft gameplay.
Hopefully it's actual gameplay.
Yeah, right. One can only hope. We don't know because it is a common tactic to show you pre-rendered footage or kind of like here's what we think it's gonna be or whatever. Like that's a tactic as old as time, right?
But you know what this means? This means all the rumors were true because all the rumors dating back to even in April, we heard that they were going to show something in early June. Right. And then closer when we got to May, we heard that the rumor was June 4th, right? And then somewhere last week, they said June 3rd. But it looks like they were always going to have something like early June before, like a week before E3, right? So they would have that whole week before E3, that hype to talk about PlayStation.
Yeah, because Sony's on this like peaceful protest of we don't need E3, we can do our own thing. They've been doing it for the last 2 years, to great effect. I think they were pretty good with their PlayStation experience. The 2 years that they did it.
Did it for 3 years. I thought it was 3 years.
Maybe it was 3. I know they didn't do it last year. I don't think they did it the year before.
Well, they didn't do it. They didn't do it in 2019. I think they did it 2015, 16, and 17.
I think that's right. Yeah, because they had that big tent for the last one. Here's our big 4 games, right?
Well,
the whole thing. They controlled the narrative.
Well, I remember that because kind of funny. The guys like Greg and Colin. Well, Colin used to be kind of funny. They did a podcast Beyond episode from the first PlayStation experience, and that was like in December. Yep. And then the next year, like beginning of next year, they quit IGN. So that's the only reason I remember that. They were still at IGN when the first one came. When they had the first PlayStation experience. So that's why I feel like it was 3 years, like 15, 16, and 17.
Right. So hopefully, like what we do know about Sony is that they have a console coming out. We know it comes with a controller. We know they're going to have this weird next-gen 3D audio stuff, which is cool. Let's see some games. Let's see the console, right? Let's get some physical. I want to see what it looks like.
All right.
See what it looks like.
So just in the same tradition of E3 that we do every year, okay, I got some predictions.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Well, what do you think is going to be there? What do you think is going to be there?
I got 5 predictions.
Oh, boy.
One, and I'll save that for the last one, will be over the top. And don't worry, I won't say the Vita 2. Even though 1 year I'm going to be right. Prediction number 1, we will not see the console June 4th.
Already wrong.
I'm telling you, they're not going to see the console.
You're already wrong.
They, this is a play on words. They said that we're going to see gameplay, right? We're going to see gameplay. We'll see what the games are going to be playing, and they specifically went out of their way to say they have more. They're going to have more to show before launch, right? Like, so just like Xbox has the Xbox 2020, right? Where they're going to have like something every month, right? So I think they're just going to show. They're going to do the opposite of what Microsoft has done. Microsoft showed the box, then they sort of had a big reveal about sort of the specs, and then they had semi gameplay or a game announcements for third-party games, right? So I think they're going to do this in reverse. We're going to get games, and then later on we're going to get the console.
I already disagree, but okay.
Well, you know what? Let's put it out there on Twitter. All right, hit us up on Twitter. Tell us what you think. Do you think they're going to show the console June 4th or not? Mm-hmm. I say no. Dave says yes. Only one of us can be right.
That's true. Take sides, baby.
So,
bring up your pitchforks. Let's go.
My next prediction.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're not going to see the console, we need to see something, and they're going to show us the full controller. We're going to get the whole whatever this controller can do. We're going to know about it. Okay, we're going to see it. We're going to see the back of the controller.
We've already seen the controller, though.
Well, we've seen the front of the controller. We don't know if it has back buttons, like the little back attachment that is now like $100 if you want to buy it because it's like sold out everywhere.
Doubtful
for the PS4 controllers.
Doubtful.
I think it will. I think it was strategic that they didn't show the back of the controller.
That's like a hardcore gamer thing right there, right? That's for the first person shooters with the extra buttons, so you can be more, good, quote unquote, in like Call of Duty or whatnot. But okay, sorry. I need to provide commentary here because
I think it was very strategic that they didn't show the back of the controller. Mm-hmm. Okay, all those pictures strategically did not show the back controller. So I think there's going to be something, even if it's not the back paddle like the attachment, but we're going to have something in the back of the controller.
If it's not paddles, what do you think they would have in the back of the controller?
I mean, it could be sort of like trigger buttons or maybe a display, something. A
display on the back of the I don't know.
Something.
Because it's adding to the manufacturing cost, right? Which is the reason I'm bringing it up. And
it's either that or wireless charging.
Wireless charging, I could see that would be a huge boon because Microsoft hasn't said anything about it. And Sony definitely hasn't saed anything about.
No, they said they take Microsoft said it'd be batteries. No, it's not going to be.
Oh, so it won't even have like not even like.
It's not going to have a wireless battery.
It maybe at a later date they could do that. I don't know. They could kind of build it in later, but that I could definitely get behind, and everybody would love wireless charging, right? Put it on a pad, and then you're good to go. All right.
Yeah, and the pad would cost $49.99.
Well, that's perfectly fine, Instead of buying like 17 different USB-C cables, you just have one pad and you're good to go.
And last on hardware, last prediction on hardware, we will not see. It will be no mention of VR. We will not see the new PSVR 2. No mention of VR.
Wow.
In this state of play PS5 reveal. There will be no mention of PSVR or any VR.
Well, I think they said
unless they want to talk about Iron Man VR, which they're not because it was delayed, but now it's coming out again.
Well, that's on like current gen, right? That's not any next gen stuff. Maybe. I mean, we haven't heard anything about it, and I think we talked about them not launching with VR, right?
I don't think they're going to launch with PSVR 2. No.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't. I mean, they said that they have next-gen VR in the works, but they also said that the current-gen VR will work on the next-gen system, right? It is going to be compatible in that way. So that's like kind of their stopgap, right? I don't know how good the performance is going to be or if they're going to have any like PS5 games specifically that run in VR at like launch. Probably not. So I'm kind of with you on this, right? This will be a year 2 situation maybe, or a year and a half situation.
Man, I told you before when we sort of had our predictions about next gen, I said PSVR, they want to focus on people just buying a console, not expensive peripheral that would probably cost. You want to get the
install base in there, right? Because it's going to be like $500 to $600. Like that's kind of the going rumor. So
and they don't want to have a peripheral that's going to be close to that price that you could buy with it.
Most definitely, yeah. Because the VR headset came out at what, $300 or $400 when it first came out.
I think it was I don't
I
remember.
think it was 400. I'm pretty sure it was 400.
It could have been $299 or $399, one of those.
I think it was $399. I believe it was the cost. It was still the lowest cost VR headset. Like the next step up was like $500 or $600, like the PC Vive or whatever it was at the time. So it was still a good deal if you wanted to get into VR, and they did have a big install base. So that made sense, that strategy, right? They obviously weren't ready with the VR tech. Maybe they are ready with the VR tech, but like you said, they don't want to put it out there like you have to spend $1,200 to get the full PlayStation experience, right? You can spend $500 or $600, get a console, and then a year or two down the line, pick up the VR headset, the new V2 or V3 or whatever it is.
So
yeah.
So that's it for my hardware predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to the software. Let's get to the real meat and potatoes, right? I think we're either gonna start or gonna end. We're gonna see Horizon 2.
Oh, I would almost 100% agree. Yeah.
I think out of all their first party studios, that's like the major game that's probably ready, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Well, it's been like
it may not be ready to go, but it's the closest thing to being ready.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or Spider-Man 2, right?
It would be an amazing. Either one of those games would be an amazing launch title.
I could see Spider-Man 2 being showcased as well. But I'm going to go with Horizon. I think Horizon 2 is going to be the game that they're going to show. That's going to be like, oh my God, wow, this is what the PS5 can do. And this is what Sony has been working on. And my crazy prediction, I'm going out there. My crazy prediction. We talked about nostalgia, okay? We talked about this is the first Xbox console to launch with Halo since the original Xbox.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's big, man.
It's big. Something equally as big. Equally. I think the PlayStation will launch with a new Crash Bandicoot game. Yes, thank you. Yes, I know.
I can see that.
I know.
That's not crazy, considering that Naughty Dog has close ties to Sony, right? They're like best buds, and Crash started on the PlayStation console with the original trilogy, right? The three of them. So why not? Why not have a new Crash
Activision owns the IP.
Oh well, I guess they have it now. Yeah.
Naughty Dog hasn't made a Crash Bandicoot game since.
They have made it since the third
CTR.
one.
Yeah,
or Crash Team Racing. Sure.
So,
but I mean,
Activision. So it would be a timed exclusive,
right?
Just like the Crash, Insane trilogy was a timed exclusive.
I guess if Activision holds it, like they're not going to be like, you can only put it out on Sony hardware. Activision's going to be like, no, we're putting it out on everything. It's coming on the N-Gage, all right?
Yeah, that would be cool if they put it on an N-Gage. I would buy it, and then I'll buy an N-Gage too.
I will say this. I think you're 100% wrong about the console, because how long are they going to like tease the carrot in front of people before we're like, come on, just show us?
Microsoft and Sony have had this back and forth, which I love. Right, I agree. It's semi console wars, right?
Yeah, it is. It very much is.
So I think it's like that Unreal Engine 5 tech demo came out right after the Inside Xbox, where people were disappointed because they really didn't get any gameplay for next gen from the Xbox, right?
Yeah.
So I think we'll see games, right? We'll have and this presentation is going to be over an hour long, so we're going to see a lot of games and a lot of gameplay. And then I think in July, when Microsoft shows first party games, I think Sony will show the console. I think they'll wait until the next month. I think they're going to try to one up each other, and it's just great. It's just great for the business. God. It's great for the industry.
I don't think those are the surprises that Sony has in store, but we'll see. You very well could be right, because anything is possible in the age of the zombie apocalypse, right? Everything's thrown in its head. E3's not here. Everyone's going rogue and doing their own thing. Microsoft is going all over the place, and Sony's taking their own approach to it. So who knows?
Well, there was also more news from this, right? So the head of PlayStation, he said, he made it known that new PS4 games must be compatible with PS5 games in the future. So if you have a game that's coming out after July 13th, that's the deadline. After July 13th, that PS4 game must work with PS5. So it's funny because it's two different strategies PlayStation is taking the forwards compatible approach, right? Where everything must work on the new console. Even though, and they did say that PS5 games are just for the PS5. Like if you want the PS5 experience, you must upgrade, where Xbox is saying, they're really going all in on its backwards compatibility.
They put a lot of R&D into that. Yeah.
And vice versa. Like if you have like Halo Infinite will come out for Xbox One. It will work on Xbox One.
Yeah. Yeah. And like say what you want about it. Sure, it's probably going to hinder like next gen graphics a little bit and this and that, but it's great for the community, right? Which means like a very real scenario is me and my brother can get FIFA 2021 and he can play on his Xbox One and I can play on my Xbox Series X and I'll get the enhanced patch and the extra graphics and the this and that, but it's the same game, the same interoperability, right? And we technically should be able to play online, which is beautiful, right? Because he's not going to get the system right away, right? I definitely am. You definitely are. Like we're going to have it because we're going to be early adopters of it. So that's like a good scenario to come out of that. I'll just say that.
So it's interesting to see how this is going to play out. Two different philosophies, but I do think Microsoft is definitely headed down that road of, because they're a software company first and foremost. They're not a hardware company. It's a reason why everyone since the OG Xbox has sort of hated on the Xbox design of their consoles. Right. Because software is what's the forte. So,
well,
and that's what they're pushing.
Kind of nice. Oh, I like the 360.
It was okay. It was the later versions were better than the original. I'll say that. The original I didn't think was all sexy.
Really? Oh, I thought.
Yeah. Like the big white, nice. like the big white console with the hard drive on top.
And it had like the little slope in the middle, right?
I wasn't so thrilled about it. I was just thrilled about having a 360 with the games. I didn't really care about, the console didn't look.
You're hating.
The console wasn't sexy. I'm sorry. I mean,
all right.
And look, don't get me wrong. That hefty PS3 wasn't the best looking PS3 either. No.
They basically went the other direction, right? The Xbox 360 was concave, right? It went in, and the PS3 was convex. It like bubbled out over the top. And it also had that cool Spider-Man font, so it had that going.
But sticking with games, let's talk about Kojima for a second. The big rumor was, he was working on the next Silent Hill game. He was working on another Metal Gear game. Don't know if those are true. Kojima has been on record and denied that he's working on any of those games, even though if this is top secret, what else is he supposed to say? I will throw that out there. But apparently he is working on a big project. He's in the stages. Well, he was working on a big project that was recently scrapped. And now him and his team are in the planning stages for the next big game. So all the rumors and innuendo say that it's not Death Stranding 2. He's working on something else. And he has put out there that he wanted to do a horror game. Right, so if he's not working on Silent Hill, he's big on
the horror. I mean, he was big into the Silent Hill games and all that. He likes some wacky stuff. Death Stranding got into the bit of the horror and the dark and the weird otherworldly stuff. Like, it had some elements of that for sure. I 100% think he's working on a horror game, a brand new franchise that is not a Silent Hill, right? Because I think that like bridge is burned, like literally. And
well, unless Sony was in the middle.
We talked about that as like Sony kind of being the go-between. That's the only way that would happen. And it would also have to be like a Sony exclusive at that point, because why is Sony kind of putting that partnership together? They got to get something out of it, right?
Yeah.
I would.
Well, the rumors were that they were purchasing the IP, or at least purchasing the rights to have it exclusive, right?
Right. So. I would like love to see it. I doubt it. I would rather him do his own new thing that like he owns.
Well, if he's not doing Death Stranding 2, and he's not working on a Silent Hill game, but he's still working on a horror game, that means he's working on a new IP, horror IP game.
Yeah. Speaking of Death Stranding, though, I don't know how you can expand that universe. I know you haven't gotten to the end. And I don't want to spoil anything, but shit got weird, and they basically explained like what was going on in the game world. They revealed a bunch of stuff, all the backstory and the whatever. Like a lot of shit went down. Like I don't know how you continue that, right?
Well, you can make it where Silent Hill was the prequel to the world coming to an end in Death Stranding. And this was his life before he was a glorified FedEx messenger. Interesting. If they could make all that tie it together, like they didn't know this. They didn't know they were aliens. It was just a weird town that the aliens were experimenting with, like the Twilight Zone episode.
Yeah. The only problem with that is they explain that in the game. They explain the genesis of the Death Stranding.
Oh, okay. Well, then we get into a little bit more backstory into the. Right, we get into a little bit more backstory, and it's like, oh my god, we were doing experiments.
Are you excited to see Kojima work on a new thing and possibly what it could be?
Well, here's my thing. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I don't do horror games. I don't do spooky games.
It's true.
And Kojima games are always out of this world.
Yep.
So I'm going to say no.
Fair. That is fair. You will watch it from the sidelines and go, "That's cool." Moving on.
Like Kojima, I love what he's done. I respect him, and I love the fact of what he's done to the industry. Right, he's brought this storytelling, cinematic movie storytelling to the world of video games. But there are two types of games that I'm just not really into, and that just so happens to be his forte, and that's stealth games and horror games. Those aren't my jam. Not big into those, which is why I'm surprised I even like The Last of Us, because it definitely has some stealth elements where you have to sneak away from the monsters, right?
Well, I feel like the story is what really drew you in, right?
The story was just so powerful, and the game is just beautiful, right?
Oh yeah, no, it is
the
gorgeous.
set pieces.
Yeah, it is gorgeous.
Right, so that's the only reason why I was excited about the Last of Us, because I don't again. You could go in, shoot 'em up, bang, bang, right? You're not going to find a lot of ammo, and you're going to have to sneak your way past certain things. But I really wanted to know more about the story, which is the only reason why I'm still interested in playing Death Stranding just later on. Not really interested in it right now, per se. But, at some point, it will grab me, and I will go back into it. But I am all in for The Last of Us Part 2.
Same. I have to actually get to playing the first one.
Well,
before the next one comes out.
Well, they had a remaster out. That's probably like $10.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So I'm into The Last of Us Part 2. They had a state of play this week. Well, last week.
Yep.
I'm not going to get into any of the story bits. I know the ending was spoiled, and this is just a little clip of everything that's in the game. Naughty Dog said this is the biggest game they've ever made. Open world wise. The story is very intense. It picks up from the end of The Last of Us Part 1. You could do a lot of new things in here, like as far as traversing the land, like you have a rope and you can go, climb to help you climb down.
Yeah,
I'm not going to get into any of that stuff. My biggest takeaway from the reveal is I think this is the nail in the coffin for the Vita, because they actually had the Vita in the gameplay. Somebody was playing the Vita in the game,
of course,
and then got killed.
Oh my God! So what you're saying is there's some symbolism behind it. It is
Naughty Dog always does this. I mean, in Uncharted 4, you can play Crash Bandicoot.
Oh,
right?
No way!
You can play Crash Bandicoot, and in The Last of Us, Ellie snuck up behind someone, and as a side note, she's like swimming, and then she's like swimming, and the person can't hear her swimming. I was like, why is this person not turning around? Like, there's a lot of noise just swimming. It's because they had headphones in because they were playing the Vita, and then she killed the person.
Ridiculous. So you're saying it is the metaphorical death of the Vita in this case.
Oh yeah, the Vita's gone. It's officially gone now.
Okay. Wow. I purposely didn't watch the video because I didn't want even the gameplay stuff. I didn't want it to get spoiled because I still haven't played the first one. I'm trying to go in fresh on that. So that's really interesting that they had that in there though. I will definitely get around to it after I beat Last of Us 1, which it may be on the docket. I may have to start playing it now.
All right. We know June 4th. Look out. We're definitely getting PlayStation 5 news. But it is E3 season. And IGN's Summer of Gaming, which is sort of IGN's E3 presentation, starts June 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they're gonna have exclusive gameplay for Samurai Jack Battle Through Time, and they're gonna have 3 unannounced game reveals. So I'm kind of excited because I want to know if these game reveals will be something big, right? Are we gonna get something huge? Are we gonna get something big, or are we gonna get something sort of smaller in scope?
I mean, look, the Samurai Jack thing, you know, I'm not gonna mince any words about it. I'm sure it's gonna be fine. I'm sure it's gonna be like a fun game. I mean, Samurai Jack is a property from the early 2000s on Cartoon Network, and I know like they brought it back and all that, but
They brought it back to finish it off.
Yeah. It's like it's not gonna move a lot of units, right? So I think the other 3 games are gonna be big because it's IGN, right? IGN's got pull. I
honestly don't think it'll be that big. I think they're going to be sort of mid-tier, like THQ Nordic type games.
You don't think they can like secure a AAA reveal? No, nothing from like Ubisoft or anything. Like
no, because I think
they're doing their own thing, but
because Ubisoft is doing their own thing. EA is doing their own thing.
I mean, yeah.
Bethesda said they have nothing. They're not doing their own thing, and I don't think they had anything to really announce anyway. Anything big, at least. So I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, you gotta have faith in IGN.
I do. I have faith that they'll have something new from THQ Nordic's 118 game development. They have 118 games in development. I think this could be 2 or 3 of those. I think they're going to be mid-tier type games. I don't think it'll be anything like huge, anything major. So let's move on. But I'm still excited. IGN is going to have something throughout the summer. Right. And we also talked about BlizzCon being officially canceled for 2020. But they just announced they will have an online event planned for early next year. So that means if you like Blizzard, you can have 2 Blizzard BlizzCons next year. One online early on, and a regular BlizzCon at the end of next year, like they normally do in October.
You can get announcements for Warcraft Mobile and StarCraft Mobile. It'll be great.
There you go.
I mean, I know they have Overwatch 2, right? They kind of put out that teaser for it. Overwatch, an amazing online MOBA, right? Everybody loves it. Their character art is on point. Their gameplay is on point. It's a very, very, very polished game. Part 2 is going to do great. That's probably going to be part of this. They'll probably also have a new World of Warcraft thing, most likely, because that's like a perennial favorite. It's been going for the last 16 years. Christ, yeah, 16 years since 2004. They've been running. Yeah, that's insane. As of like what else? Like maybe there's another remake. Maybe they're gonna remake Lost Vikings. I don't know. I don't know what else they have up their sleeve, but
Lost Vikings Mobile.
Lost Vikings Mobile. Yeah, there you go. That actually would work perfectly fine. Like they could put that out. I would pay $5 to play it. That game is great.
A bunch of microtransactions riddled it all in there. So
well, yeah. See, no. $5. Put it out for $5. Make it a super polished game, and I'll buy it.
All right. Well, let's shift gears. This is the E3 season officially, right? And it wouldn't be E3 season without retailer leaks. Come on. Last year or 2 years ago, it was Walmart Canada, right? And this year, it's no different. It's Amazon France.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Culprits 1 and 2, all right? Amazon and Walmart.
We got unannounced games. Well, we got unannounced Switch SKUs. All generic release dates of December 31st, 2020. That doesn't mean anything. The date actually doesn't mean anything, just means it's supposed to be coming out for 2020. It's just a placeholder date. Trust me, my TurboGrafx 16 Mini was supposed to come out December 31st, 2020, but then I got it last week.
Well, wait, December 31st, 2020? Like in December, in Christmas 1?
Christmas? Yes, it was. It was supposed to come. Well, it was delayed and they didn't have a date, so December 31st, 2020 is just a placeholder date. And then when I got a new date, it just, it shipped a week later. So, unannounced Switch SKUs from Bethesda, Ubisoft, and Warner Brothers.
Hey.
And Take-Two Right? So we think this is going to be the Switch year for remasters, and that's it. Re-releases, right? Like we got the remakes of Mario games. We got the Metroid Prime trilogy, which came out on the Wii originally, right?
Yeah, those are in the hopper.
Those are not hopper, but that's from Nintendo. The SKU for Bethesda, I think, could be Doom Eternal, because remember that was supposed to come out on the Switch.
Yep.
The same day, but then when Doom Eternal got pushed back, the Switch game got pushed back as well. So we got that. I just wonder what other games from Bethesda take to Ubisoft. Ubisoft did say they wanted to show more love to the Switch. I'm sure this is like Dance Dance Revolution. The same game I'm going to buy on the Wii for 2020. Yeah. Just Dance.
Well, hey, we haven't heard much about Beyond Good and Evil 2, right?
Definitely not a Switch game.
That is a no, it is not going to be. Well, maybe later they'll do a port, but right now, no. The way those visuals are, it may even be a next gen game. Honestly, I don't even know, because it's kind of getting up to the point of, if they don't release it this year, I 100% think it's going to be a next gen game.
Oh, I think when they announced it, they knew it was going to be a next gen game.
Yeah, already on board with that. Yeah.
I think they just wanted to, have excitement, but they announced it too early. They should have waited. Like, if it's going to be next gen, you announce it now, and then you can release it 3 or 4 years from now, even though it's been in development for like already 3 years. So I don't know what Ubisoft, they could be porting some older Assassin's Creed games, maybe.
I mean, sure.
Continue the cycle.
They have all the Ghost Recon stuff. They have all the Splinter Cell stuff. Like, that's in their back catalog. All the Rainbow Six games. They have a lot of stuff. Maybe they're doing The Division on the Switch.
I totally doubt that.
No, yeah, probably not.
1,000%
probably
doubt.
Not.
We don't even have in the Switch. You have like the game that it just came out or is coming out, the Ninjala game, right? That's like a multiplayer game, right? But that's more in the cartoony world. It's sort of like The Division meets Splatoon, right? So I think we're never gonna get like a Call of Duty semi-realistic style open world game like that on a multiplayer game on the Switch. Maybe the Super Switch.
Right.
I'm still holding out hope that that's what it'll be called.
The Super Switch. It certainly should. Rename it the Light Switch and then call the new one the Super Switch, and everything will be right in the world.
Yeah, and of course,
come on, Nintendo.
and Switch Lite style, it'll be Switch Super.
Yeah, exactly. They're gonna mess that one up too. Come on, Nintendo.
But you know who else is trying to said that they're going to put out games on the Switch? That's EA.
Oh,
EA said they're going to put they've now just discovered the Switch 5 years in.
Finally, they're like, hey, I think this Switch thing is the thing 3 years in. All right.
Yeah.
Like top selling console. All right, in the last like couple of months, if not year.
So, but everyone's favorite gaming company, right? This is like voted the best gaming company in the world like 3 years in a row. Oh no, I think that was the worst gaming company.
Oh yeah. You got that switched up a little bit.
Well, they're gonna continue. that trend is probably gonna continue with this news, because it looks like EA and NFL have extended their Madden exclusivity partnership, all the way into 2025 with an option for 2026. Yeah,
that's certainly not surprising. Like, why would EA not hand the NFL a big sack of cash for the rights? And I'm sure it's like I'm sure it's a licensing deal in the billions, because man, does EA make money off the Madden series? Right, people buy it year after year, like it's insane.
Well, the NFL just cares about money.
Yeah, of course.
But they should care about quality. Okay, and some of these Madden games in the last 5 years just lacked in quality. And 2K made some great NFL games. I mean, I know 2K made a deal, and they're going to bring sort of an arcadey style NFL game, right? Tom Brady's going to throw a football, is going to catch fire, and then someone's going to jump into the sky. We need a new
blitz, man. Now is the time.
Well, we will have an NFL style blitz, but Madden needs a competitor. I'm sorry.
I agree. I agree. Competition is, competition makes things good. It fosters innovation, right? You got to be better than the other guy. And it's good in this case because if you rest on your laurels, you're going to get a lackluster Madden year every now and again because they're like, we don't need to try that hard. We'll just put it out again with the new roster. It'll be fine. Looking at you, FIFA, 14 or 13, I think. There was legit one year on the Wii that all they did was a roster update and they changed the logo, like the little splash screen logo, and that was it. And it was the same exact game.
Nice.
They charged people, I guess it was like $50, right? Because that's what the price with the Wii games was. $50 for this. I think it was like 09 or 10 or whatever. It's like legit the exact same game.
I think it was 10 and 11.
Yeah, it may have been 10 and 11. That is a slap in the face, right? You got to put something in there. You can't just change the names. Oy.
Well, you know what company doesn't just change the name and put another number on it? Capcom with the Resident Evil franchise.
Oh my God. Beloved Resident Evil franchise, right?
So there's been some rumblings from Capcom. Mm-hmm. They reached out to all the Resident Evil ambassadors in the ambassador program. Said that they have some exciting announcements coming June 10th. Now, could this be the rumored Resident Evil 8 that we've been hearing about? Or Resident Evil 7 sort of spin-off that we heard about, the rumors. And here's my 2 cents. If it's a Resident Evil, I don't think it'd be Resident Evil 8. Because I think Resident Evil 8 will be exclusive on next gen. So that's the game that's come out next year or the year after. I think this is going to be the spin-off because it'll be cross-gen. It'll be a PS4, PS5, Series X, Xbox One. It'll be the spin-off to Resident Evil 7. I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what they're going to say. Well, maybe a teaser for Resident Evil 8 in the future.
Well, I mean, Resident Evil fervor, the fan love is high, right? We got 2 last year, the remake. We got 3, the remake this year, which not as good as 2, but still good. People still like it. It's great. Everyone's playing it and streaming it online. So why not put out more Resident Evil? People aren't sick of it, right? I think I agree with you. I think that save the Resident Evil 8 for next gen, make like a big splash and, put it out next gen hardware, blow people away. Maybe PSVR 2 support, right? Like they did with 7. That'd be
100%.
That'd be awesome.
You know what would be even better? If that was like a launch game.
Oh
with
my
the
God.
PSVR 2.
Right? Because you need to have a good IP. You need to have some software to go with the hardware. Yes.
Right, and it's like, well, why are you going to buy it on the Series X when you buy it on the PS5? You can play it on PSVR. Right? So, all right, but I wanted to end on some crazy, wacky, out of this world news that I hope is true, but no, it's probably not going to be true. I just want to say happy anniversary to Sega. It's their 60th anniversary this year. Okay. And there's a Famitsu article that's coming out next week, June 4th, same time as PS5 announcement. And this journalist and Famitsu are just hyping this up. They're saying that they have the massive scoop, something that will shake up the gaming industry. They're saying just like how Wired got the scoop with Mark Cerny for the PS5, they got a scoop like that, something groundbreaking. People are speculating, is it Xbox buying Sega? Because those were rumors a couple of weeks ago. Is it Sony buying Sega? Because I think that would be, if anybody was going to buy Sega, I think that would make more sense because Sony's a Japanese company. And, their IPs, all the Atlas IPs, Sonic, all of that stuff would do better on a Sony platform because they sell well in Japan, unlike Microsoft and the Xbox, right? I don't think having Atlas exclusive games, I don't think Yakuza would sell Xboxes in Japan. I'm sorry. I don't believe that. Or it could be Nintendo partnering up with Sega, right? A merger. Or this is what I hope. This is what I want deep down inside, but I know it's not going to happen. They're getting back in the hardware business and they're coming out with a Dreamcast 2.
Ooh.
No.
Wouldn't that be the thing, Dan?
No.
Wouldn't that be the thing? I mean, yeah, it'd be great, but no. I don't think
could the industry sustain four console manufacturers, major console manufacturers?
Well, the answer is no. We've never.
I mean, five. I forgot about the Amico.
Oh, the Amico. Wow, you want to talk about the Atari VCS? That's 6.
No, I'm not talking about the Atari VCX. No, not at all.
No, I mean, like, look, if you look at the history of video game consoles and the manufacturers that survived during those times, you've never had more than like 3 successful companies at once. We did have 4 when the Xbox came out, and we also had the Sega Dreamcast, the PS2, and the GameCube. And then immediately Sega folded Dreamcast because they like just couldn't even keep up. So, and the only reason Microsoft stuck around because they had a ton of money. They forced themselves into the marketplace, and they turned around with the 360 into like, okay, now we have a legitimate console and a platform and all that. Like we're gonna make this good now. So
we had 4 before. We had the NES.
Yeah.
We had Genesis.
Yeah.
TurboGrafx 16. And the Atari was still the Atari was still around, whatever model that was. I can't really remember.
Oh, they had like the 7800, and it was garbage. Yeah.
Yeah, it was garbage.
That was after they crashed the industry, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the late 80s, early 90s, that 88 to 91 range.
Oh no, Atari was long dead by then. Like they were. Dead.
No, they weren't dead because the Jaguar came out later on, like 94.
Somebody bought the name and then revitalized it. Yeah. Yeah. It's been through so many hands, and then look what happened to the Jaguar. The Jaguar went out of.
The Jaguars would put them under, and then they a bunch of people. Atari got split up into different divisions.
Right.
Which is still weird to think about.
Yeah. So I don't think it is that from that standpoint. I think they're doing pretty well as a company, right? They have Atlas as a sub brand and. Say what you want about Sonic. They're still putting out Sonic games, and they're making a lot of money off that. And they have a lot of IPs to dip their hands back into. I just don't see it. I would love a Dreamcast too. I would love a mini Dreamcast. I don't know if that's going to make waves. I don't know about you. If they just put a mini out, like if that's the thing.
A mini Dreamcast doesn't shake the industry.
No,
a mini Dreamcast isn't a major scoop.
Mm-hmm.
I would buy it. It would be great. And I hope they do that. Right. Mm-hmm. But no, that wouldn't be a major scoop at all. I would be so disappointed. I at this point, I expect nothing short, it can't be anything less than Sony is buying Sega.
Maybe, they're partnering up with some company or whatnot. It's a possibility. I could see Square Enix and like Sega making a partnership,
or our worst nightmare, Konami,
Ooh,
and
Konami
Sega.
And Sega. Right? They would turn it into a Sonic pachinko making machine.
There you go.
Oh, that'd be.
There you go. You have Silent Hill gyms in Japan.
Right.
They're gonna scare you into working out.
Well, it's interesting. Like this is June 4th, right? Which is the same as the PlayStation 5 conference or whatever you want to call it is happening. So it's going to be a big day. We're going to see all the news that shakes out of it. It's going to be the continuation of E3 summer, I guess. The game extravaganza from now until August. So
let the hype begin.
Yeah, right. All right. So we will definitely keep tabs on this, and we will let you know what comes out of this. But yeah, that is episode 221 in the books, folks. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. And also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. Check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.